Trust your data, starting my recording. There we go. The recording is going. All right. Well, I want to welcome everybody tonight. This is a really important webinar tonight. It has a lot to do with the new search engine parameters for the coming year and years, and it's really going to make a big difference. And more than that, you're on the cutting edge of something very important that a lot of people aren't doing. A lot of the smart marketers and the techie types have kind of figured this stuff out already, the Google Author Rank, and you want to make sure that you're in this before anyone else does. This is the whole point of good cutting-edge internet marketing. And I want to welcome you to Google Author Rank, how to set your content results on fire. And don't worry about if your computer bursts into flames like this young man down the bottom. It looks just like my kid, actually. And that's what usually happens to most of his computers. Eventually, because he just destroys everything. But we're going to be setting some things on fire tonight, and it has everything to do with getting past all this competition. Now, see if you relate to this. Now, I've had this problem for years where I've been writing these original articles and putting them on Ezine articles and on my website and all these great things that people tell us to do. And it works. I mean, keyword-rich titles and all this great content, it really helps build my brand and attract search engines, except for the fact that I keep constantly being beat out by all these article spinners and these outsourcing people from the Philippines that just write these articles that aren't even grammatically correct most of the time, but somehow they put them out en masse, thousands at a time, just uploading them in different places. And the search engines are just totally awash of just thousands of different article things. Then you have a trouble trying to get your articles to come up in the search engines up there. So it's such a pain in the butt to compete with all these people that aren't even real experts. They're just writing these articles and they're just respinning them in these software pieces, and they're just blatantly cluttering the internet and the search engines up with articles. So if you ever had a problem with trying to compete with that, this is the solution, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and show you exactly what this is. Google Author Rank, a lot of people don't know what it is, so I'm going to explain exactly what it is. And this is a little bit like PageRank. Remember, we used to talk about PageRank and having a site come up high in the search engines, and PageRank dictated your search positioning, and it was basically based on how long your site had been up, how many people are linking to it, and all these different things that were hard to figure out. Google Author Rank is your personal PageRank, the way to build an authority for yourself and your content on Google. All right, before we get on here, who am I? I'm Colin Martin. If you don't know me by now, that's a shame, but you will. And I'm Tom Antion's marketing manager. I have been for 6 years, but I'm actually leaving that position here in 3 weeks. So that's really an interesting turn of events. I'm also was Tom Antion's head instructor for his Internet Marketing Training Center, but I'll be leaving that position as well in 3 weeks. And I also am the Stealth Persuasion author, the copywriting expert. And so really I've been studying this thing for a while here, and I promised you guys in the last webinar I did that we would be, Elena says, are you leaving? Oh my God, no. I knew you ladies would be passing out over this, but that's okay. There's the ways to stay in touch. Laureen says best in everything. You guys are so sweet. But I promised you in the last webinar that when we were talking about the Stealth Persuasion webinar, that Author Rank was going to play this important part in linking all our content together. But at the time of the last webinar, I think it was about a month ago, I think it was on March 14th, I hadn't yet figured out anything about how this works. And then I found out that it's really just a pilot thing that Google's doing, and they haven't even released it out in full force yet, but they are going to do that. And I'm going to show you why they're going to do that in here in just a minute. And the reason I didn't figure it out is because there was very little information. So I dug really deep, as I promised you I would, told everybody I'd send a newsletter, and I didn't. So I apologize for that. But I decided to go ahead and show you full force what I've been doing here with this Google author rank. So what is it exactly? Well, it's an algorithm that Google put up to try to link and collect all the content and verify all the authors, that the real people out there that write stuff all over the internet, put them all together and make sure that we're talking about real people that you can trust. So when you see an article and you don't know who it's from and it doesn't have an author and it's just been written about something and it doesn't make any sense, that stuff we've been competing with all this time, that we've been trying to get the bump out of the search results and us to get a foothold in this stuff, that Google's going to reward us for that, for being a real author that stands up and says and owns our material. And it's about time they started doing this. So Google Author Rank is going to weed out the spammers. There's people that just write stuff just to try to, it's called article side doors and spinning, where they just try to get the bots to collect the keywords, and they stuff a bunch of keywords in these articles and they direct them to crummy opt-in pages and just a bunch of junk. They're going to weed that kind of stuff out and try to make the real content that real people write, the authority stuff that shows up high. It's also going to weed out, obviously, the article spinners, the people who write one article, stick it in a software program, and then 14 different articles come out, and they're not even writing this stuff. And it's hard to catch this stuff just looking at it in a keyword sense or the content sense. So verifying the author is going to help weed this out, and this is exactly what we're talking about here. Also, it weeds out the outsourcing people. Now, I like outsourcing to a certain degree, and I have a lot of people who've helped me, from the Philippines and India and all these places. But if you're an author frustrated with trying to beat out the 40 million crummy articles that are being written every hour and pushed onto the internet, then learning Google Author Rank is for you. Also, again, it promotes real writers and authors. So you're going to be, you have a chance now to be verified as a content expert. And that's extremely important in terms of your search positioning. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about tonight. Also, confirmed authors will get higher search results and a different kind of search result. That's completely different than anything you've ever seen before. And I'm going to show you an example of what I mean by that. And it's really cool. I want to reiterate that you guys are in the right place tonight, because this is cutting edge stuff that only a few of the top people are doing. And I can't believe I figured it out, and I wanted to share this with you, and it's extremely important. Also, authors will have all their content results collectively tied together. I'm going to show you an example of that on here of some of the people who've already started doing this. Well, why does Google even care about putting up an author rank? I mean, I guess they want real people in the results. They want their searchers, who are the customers, to be happy with the real content that they find. They want them to be happy with content that is verified and proven to be, I guess, better than just the crummy stuff out there. I always wished Google would punish some of that cheap article spin crummy writing stuff and let my stuff and your stuff rise to the top, where people can really see expert content. It was just so hard to do that up until this point. But what they really care about, it's about business. Google's about business. The real reason they're starting Google Author Rank is to promote Google+. They have been trying ever since Facebook, ever since they invented this Google+, they have been trying to compete with Facebook for their social network. And now this is a chance for them to do that. And it's exactly why they started this. So it may be a little self-serving for Google, but it's going to help you in the long run. They want to sell ads just like Facebook does on Google+. If you notice, Google+ doesn't have any ads yet. Facebook makes all their money on ads. And that's how Facebook monetizes their social network, by showing ads catered to the people based on their profile information. So Google, being a good business person, they don't want to miss out on this. So they start selling ads, trying to make money on Google+. And it's also, they basically, everyone, say it with me, they want to put Facebook out of business, because these are two major competitors for ad dollars. So it's extremely important that people start using Google Plus as much as they can. Facebook is always focused on real people. On search engines generally, you don't know what you're going to get half the time. But on Facebook, they want real people to post real stuff, and then they sell ads to what those people talk about and what they put in their profile. So the ads on Facebook are more tailor-made to the customer than typical pay-per-click over on Google, which is just based on keywords. But it's not based on whether you're single, what age group you live in, what town you live in. Those Facebook ads are more powerful in their targeting because of the information they gather. Not only that, Facebook is actually creating a search engine within Facebook that they hope will rival the Google algorithm, a very powerful search engine based on keywords. If they do that, then Facebook will have the advantage over Google in terms of putting out ads that are relevant to profile information and the keywords that you're looking for in the search engine. Google says, I don't think so, okay? So they created this Google Author Rank to help people start connecting their Google Plus to their search results. And what the main thing they want to do here is Google wants to expand their pay-per-click focus away from just keywords and start focusing on profile information. So they have to get people to use Google Plus, just like people use Facebook. As you guys probably well aware, and I am, and most of us are, if you really think about it a minute, Facebook's a lot more fun. We spend more time on Facebook than we do Google Plus. Most of us don't even have a Google Plus, but here's the catch tonight. You're going to have to get a Google Plus account and start a profile if you want Author Rank to work for you. And that's perfect because it's going to reward you. So Facebook may not be rewarding you except having fun and being, showered with ads all the time. But with Google Plus, having a Google Plus profile and being an expert in your industry is going to give you higher search results. Tom Antion and a lot of other people always said that if Google owns anything like YouTube or their own social networking or their own ad or their own article base, that those would always play favor in the search result. Even though they're not supposed to, you know that they will. And this is part of those long-term plans. If they verify that we're real people, their ads will become more focused and more relevant. So that's the main reason why we have Author Rank. Of course, aside all of that business crap we just talked about, this is going to benefit you, the real experts. And this is what's so exciting about this. And I love it. So let's get moving on here. How to set up an Author Rank. It's as simple as a snip of code that I figured out that most people don't know about, that you just place in your website, and it connects your Google Plus profile to your content. It looks like this. Now don't freak out. It's just a little tiny bit of code. The red part is just your personal information, and the black part of the code is just simply little tiny pieces of code. So this line here where it says REL equals Colin Martin, and then link equals, that's my Google Plus address, my Google Plus profile address, right there. And then an end tag. That's the simple code that is fueling this entire process. I told you it was going to be easy. I hope you believed me when I said that. But this is stuff that it took me a while to figure out this thing. And the results are incredible of putting this little piece of code. Why are we putting this little piece of code in here? Because Google's robot little spiders that go through your website and find all the stuff on your website will find this little piece of code that you've pasted in there, and it will create a whole new search result for you. It'll have a picture of you with your little face on there, which is your Google Plus profile. That little picture helps build credibility and personalization to the searchers. If they see your face, it looks like you're a real expert that they can trust, because all the outsourcers, all the spinners, all the crummy writers, and all the spammers are not going to put their face next to an article that's garbage. They're just not going to do it, okay? So this is a chance to personalize your search result. It also, this personalized special search result that you've never seen up until this point, has a link to all your other content. which will build as the years go by into a massive library of your own content all over the web from a single link on every search result based on one of your articles. It also will have a link over on the side and a little tiny profile snippet, which is your title and just some little bit of information. And it'll kind of hover over there on the left. If it doesn't do, or on the right hand of the search result, if it doesn't do that, then there's another link right to your Google Plus profile. This will not happen no matter what with Facebook, because Google will not let Facebook have that kind of customization over a search result. So I'm going to show you exactly how to get that code, Alana, in just a minute, and it looks like this. You have to look at this. This is the new Google search result. This is just an article I wrote that's on my website. You can see it's got the website address. Those are the two things that have always stayed the same, the name of the article and then the link to the address. But look at the new stuff. The little picture that shows up of me, this by Colin Martin right here, that is new. That's a link to my Google+. This more by Colin Martin link here is actually a link that will link all your other content from all over, from any website, not just your own website, but any website that you submit content to, whether it be e-zine articles, self-growth, even Facebook, anything that you have ever published anywhere will all be collectively garnered together. This is awesome stuff here. And I want to show you exactly how I did it. So we're going to get right into this. I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. And that code, let's go back and look at this code a minute. It's right here. This code, I'm going to have this available on the recording tomorrow on the web page, where you can just copy and paste this same code here onto just a piece of notepad and save it somewhere. But instead of putting Colin Martin here, you put your name. And instead of putting this address here, you put your Google Plus address. So you have to start a Google Plus account first, and it'll give you a profile. And it's very much like Facebook, and you don't have to do as much with it as Facebook. It can be very simple. And all you do is replace your name and your profile address in this whole entire link of code here, and just hang on to it, and I'll show you exactly where to put it. I'll see you get a question here. Charlene says, do you just put the HTML into your blog post too, or just the header? I'm going to show you exactly. That's what I was all confused about. Al says, how do I find my Google Plus address? I'll go to Google Plus because I'm going to show you exactly how to do this, and I'll show you where to find it, Al. So let's go to this right here. Enhanced in WordPress. Whoever has a WordPress out there, it's as simple as this. Let's go over to my WordPress, and I'll show you exactly where to put that code that universally spreads the code. You don't have to put it in every post or on every page. You can universally put it in one spot, and it covers your entire website. So I'm going to go over to just my dashboard, and you can see that this is my typical WordPress dashboard. You guys have seen this. I'm going to show you how to do a traditional website here in just a minute, but let me show you how to do it in WordPress. I was asking a friend of mine, I said, how do I put that code? The code's got to go in what's called the header. The header is just a small area. Now, it's not that picture on your website. Now, it's a little confusing. I'm talking about the head tags that are in a website. Now, I don't want you to have to worry about all this stuff about that sounds confusing. You don't need to be a web designer to do this. Head tags, body tags, blah, blah, blah. I didn't know where all that crap was either. So I said, well, how do I make sure that the link shows up on every single page and every single post universally and only pasted one time? Do I have to put it in every post or every page? And he said, no, there's this plugin. Of course, I'm going to give you a free plugin, guys. Oh, the Enhanced Header and Footer Injections plugin. Can everyone see that okay? It's the Enhanced Header and Footer Injections plugin. You just upload it and activate it just like any free plugin on WordPress. Actually, you can see all the different plugins I'm using all these killer ones, floating social media icons, audio player, image widgets. This is my secret P. I'm going to be showing them to you. But let me see something nice. After you've just simply activated and uploaded and activated your enhanced header footer injections, you just go to settings, and it'll be right here under enhanced header footer injections. And it says global header code. And there it is. I just paste in my code into this global header area, and that's it. And I also put it in main blog page header code. I wasn't even sure if I was supposed to put it in there, but I did just to be safe. And then I checked off that I want it enabled for every post and every page of my entire WordPress site. And all I did was go down and hit Save Changes. And that's it. So now this plugin makes the code visible to the search engine robots and spiders, every page and every post. I'm going to show you an example of exactly what I mean by the different kind of search results. Let's go, and that's it with WordPress. That's all you have to do, and it'll be activated. I'm going to check real quick the questions box and make sure that I don't have any questions here. Where do we get the plugin? Very simple. You just go to, in WordPress, go to plugins. We'll just copy this real quick. And you just go to add new. This is how you get any plugin on WordPress. And then you search enhanced header and footer injection, search plugin. And it'll be the first one here, 5-star rating. It works really good. It's already installed, but it'll say install. Just click install, and it'll be in 10 seconds and activate, and it's ready to go, and then you paste your code in. So that's all you have to do with that. Let me take a look at some other questions here. Thanks, Lynette. Okay, Al, what about my front page sites? I'll show you. I know if you're not using WordPress, you're kind of like in the dark ages. Let's take a look at a non-WordPress site, really like Tom Antion's site. Okay, I always pick Tom Antion as an example. Whenever you're in doubt, check out what he did. Now, if you are used to these regular traditional HTML sites, if you built one, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you had someone built it for you, then your web designer will know exactly what I'm talking about. You just place the code in the header area, and I'll show you what header area is. Ignore all this stuff. It's crazy, 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 but you can see right here, this is what's called a head tag. Right there. This head tag is just a place where you can put information that the search engines look for. And that's exactly all it's here for. And you can see right here, this is the closing head tag. So everything in between these two tags, here and here, is just information such as meta information and little things that the search engines need to decipher what the site is about. And you can see that Tom put his author rank code in between the two head tags, just above the closing head tag. So if you're into HTML, you knew very simply, you know exactly what I just said. If you have WordPress, don't even worry about this part. Okay? You don't need to worry about this. This is just for people with traditional front page and expression web HTML websites. Your web designer, if you want to get your web designer to put them, all you have to do is tell them to put your code into the head area of the CSS. And the CSS will universally paste the code on every single page of your site, just putting it in once. So it's real simple to do. On WordPress, we just walked through it with the plugin. It was as simple as that. And on the HTML, it's just a matter of putting in the head tags. So anyone can help you do that, and it's very simple. Don says, wonder if this header tag would work in Pinterest. Not really sure about all that. I might have to check that out. I know that if you can put that head tag in Pinterest, it possibly might get your Pinterest stuff to show up. But if you're verified, I think this works mainly with content, so I'm not really sure how much, that would be interesting to find out. Jeannie King says, where do you place on the CSS? In the header, in the head area. Every CSS site has head, footer, body, content areas, and things like that. You put this in the head area, Jeannie, okay? Don't put it anywhere else. Put it in the head, because that's where Google's going to look for it. If it can't see the link of the code, it's not going to be able to help you become an author rank. Let's take a look and see how many people are already doing this. I want to show you what the search result looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to Google, and I'm going to type something in. You guys to help me type something in here. Let's somebody give me a good searchable phrase, you know, like leadership skills or something that you think has a lot of competition to it. And stress reduction. All right, Elena. Jocelyn says it goes in the HTML head here. Yep, you're right. I'm going to, okay, carpet cleaning. I love you, Don. Stress reduction. Let's see if we can find something. If we don't find much here, then you realize how very few people are even doing this, which is even better for you. But what I want to try to find someone using it can to show exactly what the search result looks like. So I'm going to look on this Google search. I'm going to scroll down. Wow. I don't see anybody writing about stress reduction. These are, God knows who these people are, but look at this, 37 stress management tips, Reader's Digest. They're not using author rank. Stress reduction techniques, 20 simple, effective, blah, blah, blah. They're not using it. Let's try something else. Let's try leadership, because I'm always into that. And we'll look and see if anyone here is using it. My goodness, no one's using it. I'm also going to log out of Google, so I want to pretend like I'm actually a real searcher and not have any kind of cached results here. Well, no one's really using it. Let's try, what did you guys write in here? Let's see. Beauty tips, weight loss. All right, let's try that. Try weight loss. I'm really using this at all. You guys are in for a treat, because let's try content marketing. I bet these guys are on the ball. Content marketing. I just really show you what a search result looks like. There's one. Da-dun, da-dun. Check this out. There's 3 guys in a row. Can you guys see that okay? This is the new search result. This guy's got this cute little face right here, and it says, by Joe. How many people are in his circles on Google Plus, like showing off like friends? And then more by Joe Paluzzi. This is the important part. See, I just found one article by Joe, but I got a link to all his other stuff. Look at this with his name, and look at 10 pages plus of Joe's stuff on diff sites, Content Institute, but it can be any site that he's published on. Here's that part of the site talking about where you got a bigger piece of his face, and this is the tagline from his Google Plus file, similar to what you write in Facebook. Content marketing and evangelist, this is all part of his Google profile. So all these search results are, all content is here together. This has been was impossible and completely impossible to do in the past before this. If I call his name, I've never heard him entirely, okay? But this is how the search results are working in action. So what have we done here? We created a code. He put it on his site with a plugin or some kind of CSS. Everything he publishes is linked to Google+. This comes up in this beautiful search result with his little picture, with a link to Google+, and a link to all his content. before tonight, before I showed you this, this was impossible to have all your content grouped together on Google, even if you just searched on your own name. I didn't search on Joe's name because I didn't know who the heck he even is. I searched on content marketing, which is a keyword that people are going to search on all the time. And if you do your keywords right, then your stuff in your author rank will make you come up in a search engine, and there'll be a link to everything else that you've ever written. So the longer you do this, the more content shows up. It doesn't automatically yet backlog every single piece of content that you've done, but it will the longer you have this in place, that you start as soon as possible, and that the search engines re-index all your old stuff. Now, I'm just going to pop in one of my, just to show you how I did it. I just started just a couple days ago, and it already started working for me. So let me go find me an article off this site here. And I think this is cool. And this guy, too, here's from Brian Clark, John Miller. It doesn't matter. Okay, good part. It also doesn't matter if you have the same name as another author. You know, God forbid if there's two Colin Martins out there. But what if your name is in the whole world, and God forbid you're competing with John Smith, a horrible pain in the butt? This and that code to a specific Google Plus profile that's you. And this content will now be linked together. Oh, if you've ever done its name, recently when he was in prison selling others like this. Let's take a look. And I'll show you exactly now. Remember, I just started doing this with the Universal plugin just a few days ago. So it hasn't been that long. So I'm going to put in, just to make it easier for me, I'm going to pop in this title as something we can search on. Just give me a second here. Let me check what's going on here. Let me copy and paste this. And we'll just, I just want to show you what my result looks like. And this is only after just less than a week of doing the, we're just going to pretend this was the keyword that someone was searching for. That would have been really good if they did. But you'll see, there it is. Now you'll see other articles about, actually here's one of my other articles somebody stole and put it on a website. So that's not helping me any. God knows they're probably selling something based on the stuff I wrote. That's always a common problem. Here's selfgrowth.com. It doesn't have the personalization of the Google rank. Here it is right here. There's my Google Plus link. And I just started this up. Yeah, I don't even have very many people in my Google circles. I just started this up. Click on it, and just a few things that I've been doing just this week have already started to appear. And as you can see, there's a bunch of ones, mainly ezine articles. This is the best way I've found so far to get the crappy search positioning that ezine articles has been slapped with. If you don't know what happened, the Google's just punished ezine articles, and they don't show up anymore. Even though these are great quality original articles that we spent a lot of time writing, they don't show up in the search engines because Google got mad last year or a year ago at ezine articles for putting out what they called low content, low quality content, and slapped them and quit putting them in the search results. Well, that wasn't helping me. I used to get thousands and thousands of views of ezine articles, and then I noticed over the last year or two they started dying out. I don't know if you noticed that as well. But now my Google author rank link is linking all my great ezine articles on a search result. Other sites, there's NetAim where I write. There's How to Market a Book on my website. So I've only been doing this for a little while, and I've only got 2 pages of results. But man, that's cool because it never happened before. And if you put in Colin Martin and author or Colin Martin copywriting or anything, none of these things came up together. This is an exclusive Google way of bulking all our content. So now you can daisy chain all your content and lump it all together and be completely rewarded with the little picture. Really cool. I love that little picture, you know, because I'm cute, and I love that picture. And I've using it for so long, as you guys know. And now it's also got a link to my Google Plus. So what do I have to do over at Google Plus to link back? The extra little trick I want to go over with you, and I'm going to check real quick and see if there's any questions, so bear with me. This is kind of a not a very structured webinar tonight. I'm really just trying to teach you this as best I could. So let me see what we got here for questions. My friend is on Google Plus. Try feng shui in your garden. Okay. Al says, how do you know? How do I know what? Oh. Alina says, Don says, lost audio. Is everything sounding okay now? Let me see. Great. Okay, great. No, it's still in and out. Well, try to bear with me on here. Yep, got a little bit of trouble with the old GoToWebinar tonight. But I just want to show you one thing. Oh, what's that? Bombarding me with pop-ups. Scott says, just put the Google Plus code in. Okay, good. Al says, how do you know an author is on Google Plus? It doesn't matter whether they're on Google Plus. You need to be on Google Plus. This is for you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about any other authors. We're competing with everyone. Okay, this is the whole point of this. Vincent says, I don't have a website, but I've been building a presence on YouTube. Could I use this system? Not sure about that either. It's really based for content now at the moment, but I'm sure you'll be able to put a video. If you have a video on your own website, that's not on YouTube, but put the video, you could definitely use that because it is content. So let me go over to Google Plus real quick, and I want to show you guys exactly where you get your profile number and exactly how you link to something. So we're going to assign everything. Relationship artist. Bet you didn't know I was a relationship artist. If I could spell right. This was my previous incarnation as a relationship coach. But this is what I said. I've had a Google Plus for a while, but I didn't really do a whole. So it's important that you do this. You'll see Google Plus. We'll just go ahead and go to Google Plus. To this process, the rank going. Not only do you put the people on your website, but you also link back to articles from Google. As you can see here, this is an article that was on my site. And then just like Facebook, just copy the URL from an article on your site, and pop it in. Forgive me, I'm having a little trouble with Internet Explorer. Say it's not so. But what this has been, that's terrible. Let's go back to the PDF. That'll fix in a minute. My Internet Explorer seems to be frozen up, but what I've done is linked back to articles from Google+. Of course, you want to craft your article anyway, as much as you can from Google Plus or Facebook. So I put them on, and I also put them on Google Plus. So you pop the URL in to Google Plus update box, click share it with everybody, and you click. Yep, it's just a link in the comment box. So you want to share your content. When you start doing your sharing your content, you need to definitely start sharing it after you share it, and it'll speed up this rank process. I'm going to have a Q&A here in a minute, and it'll be easier. I might not be able to get my Internet Explorer back, and I don't want to end it exactly, or try to end the program, or it might cut an hour off. I'm having a little bit of computer problems. I got over today, and so I've been having a little trouble with that. But we're going to have a Q&A here after I explain. Yeah, there'll be a replay of this. obviously you want to check this out as much as you can, and you definitely have the search result. You definitely want that. You should take advantage of it. Again, I'm going to put a picture, or not a picture, to this code here so that you can definitely see what we do with the code. And this code's been working, and this is pretty much it. I told you it would be really simple, but you're starting to see how all the linked content will come up together. It makes us an authority figure. This is what was important. When Google PageRank first came out for search engine positioning, PageRank meant everything. Trying to get that 1 through 10 rank was extremely important because, as Tom would call it, it made you an authority figure. So what we've done here is made an authority figure out of you and your content and your expertise. That code, Elena, is I'm going to give it to you right here. This is the code, okay? So you just copy and paste this into a text box and replace my name with yours and your Google Plus profile link, which is just the address to your Google Plus profile, in here. And then this whole code is your personal code, Elena. That's what it is. You don't create the code. It's just put in here. Your profile link, when you click on the Google Plus profile, let me show you real quick. It says profile. It's right up here. And it starts with the HTTPS, Google Plus, and then it's got this long number, and it stops right before this question mark. So this is your Google Plus code that your profile URL that you're going to stick in the code. It's as simple as that. It ends before the question mark. So if you have any questions about how to get your Google Plus file code, just watch this tomorrow, and just follow the instructions. I'm expecting you to go through tonight's step and follow along the webinar. It'd be easier just to watch. And plus, I'll have some written instructions on how to get your Google Plus code. So it's going to look just like this. You just put it in here, and that's it. This stuff stays the same. You have the little triangle, REL equals quotation mark, your name, quotation mark, space. Link equals quotation, that Google Plus URL to your profile, quotation, / little triangle. That's the whole code. And that's what's putting all this into action. This is what links everything together. Now, we had a question, let's see here, about articles. Let's see who wrote me that. Why did my ezine articles come up in the search engine? I'm not really sure. It just did. I think it's because I had a verified. I didn't put the code in ezine articles, but somehow it's starting to connect what are called verified accounts. And on ezine articles, your name has a verified account. Also on ezine articles, it asks you for your Google Plus profile URL so people can link to it. Like ezine articles, it says, go visit Colin's Google Plus page if you want to learn more about him. So there is a Google Plus profile link in ezine articles. That's the only thing I can think of that is making it do that. But it's really kind of neat. I love the ezine articles coming up. Some of this stuff I haven't quite figured out yet. So you got to bear with me a little bit. I know that it's working, but the inside things here, since Google hasn't officially even announced the launch of this, what's important is that you get in on it now, and that you start having this stuff work for you, just like it did me, and that all so you can see how it worked for the other people. And it's going to start linking more and more content. YouTube, you asked about? Maybe so. Pinterest? Maybe. I mean, I have no idea how far this is going to go. But I do believe that over the year's time here, when this gets officially launched, and basically a lot of search engine power goes into it, that everything that you link to, from Pinterest, or not Pinterest, but from Google Plus to other places, and that you put that content, and this full circle of linking that we've always talked about, linking to Facebook, and Facebook linking to your web page, and your web page linking to your blog post, and your blog post linking to Twitter, and blah, blah, blah. All this stuff will become a circle that will verify your content, so pretty much everything will start showing up as time goes on, which is extremely important in terms of connecting your social networking together, articles, advertising, any guest articles and guest blogs. You can put, and this is important, you can put this same link on a guest post so that your content will be linked on sites and blog sites that you don't own, that you're just guest on. So you want to make sure that when you give someone an article for them to publish on their site, if you're going to be a guest writer, to include the link in there. So that's, and you'll start to everything will start to connect here as time goes on, and it'll grow richer and fatter and more easily visible to everyone. You saw that one guy, Joe, had 10 pages of content because he's been doing this a while. And I had 2 pages. I've been doing it a week. You can see where it's going to start to grow. So I'm going to get to a Q&A here in just 1 second. I want to show you what's been going on with me lately. And I'll definitely answer a bunch of questions about the author rank, because I know it was a little confusing. Really wasn't that confusing. I really wanted you to see just how much I did it. But I want to announce that I'm going to be gone for quite a long time. And why am I going, and why am I leaving Antion & Associates, and why am I not doing any webinars for the next 4 months? Well, I'm going to the Smokies on a long, primitive camping trip for 3 months, maybe more. Okay, I'm going there doing what I love to do most, which, believe it or not, is not internet marketing or writing, but hunting for rubies, emeralds, sapphires, gold, aquamarine, and a whole bunch of other stuff. There's over 50 abandoned mines. There's over 1 million of them really out in that area, but I picked 50 good ones that I'm going to go down and personally go into and hunt around, because I love gem hunting. So this is a treat for me. I kind of went on a midlife crisis a little bit when my kid moved away. Remember all the stealth persuasion webinars I had last summer you guys were a part of? I freaked out when my kid moved away, and I've been stuck here all by myself. And you know what? I've been a really good dad. I'm going to reward myself, and I'm going to disappear, for a while and go do something I want to do, or try to find total happiness. All those things life coaches tell you that you should be doing, but we never actually. And so it's a bit of a spiritual journey where I'm going to spend a lot of time in deep meditation trying to figure out new marketing and new things that I want to do with my life, and just happier and better. And I'm not staying at regular campgrounds. I'm actually primitive camping way out in the middle of absolute nowhere. That literally takes days to hike to and days to hike back from, with very little food or anything like that. So actually I'll be losing a lot of weight and hopefully curing my diabetes. And I'm going to try to journal all this. And this is what I want to do. And I'm going to be opening up a diamond business also when I get back, and in conjuncting and things. So, Don, I'm not taking a cell phone with me. It's a total techno detox. No computer, no internet, no phone, no nothing. And it's just me and the oxygen. And that's it. And if I get eaten by a bear, or I have to marry some warthog or something, everything will be fine. I don't go for what ifs, I just go for what is. That's what I'm really going for. And it definitely is going to be a trip of a lifetime. I've been waiting my whole life for this. Look at a few things that I'm going to be finding. If you are into gems at all, that's gold over in the left-hand corner, and in the center there's rubies, and then emeralds and aquamarine. Down at the bottom is a $40,000 emerald that a guy found within just 1 hour of being on a trail that I'm actually going to be camping on for literally weeks. So maybe that will be nice. Maybe if I can find some big money. You can see here I've kind of planned out. This isn't an exact map of where I'm going, but it's kind of a cheesy little X marks the spot of big treasure kind of area. I'm out towards Asheville, Tennessee, Knoxville area, northern Georgia. So if you guys are familiar at all with that area, this is the Smokies, 5,000 and 6,000 foot peaks, and it's going to be great. And I hope that I survive it, but I should be back by August, September with uh, a whole new training packages of stuff. I get to go out there and just think about what I really want to do with my life and what I can help to do for you guys to make try to make some money and make life a little easier out there. So I just need a break for a while. I'll come back stronger than ever. But okay, don't cry and don't freak out. Don't fret or pass out. I'm going to offer, like I usually do, and you guys are fairly familiar with all this already, a chance to work with me before I get going. I'm going to be leaving in about 4 weeks. But that's okay. I still have the Stealth Persuasion workshops, all the recordings still available. You can get them at any time. I just want to offer them to you tonight. This is all the article blogging content strategies, creating product launches, creating perfect sales letters, all your social networking stuff, writing fiction and characters. These are all exclusive workshop recordings I had last fall and summer. And I know you guys, a lot of you have bought it already and you love it, but if you want a chance again to purchase this, or you haven't purchased it yet, or you want to work with me personally on this before I go, there's a couple weeks left. The Persuasion Workshop is 24 hours of video recordings. It's 12 2-hour webinars I held, and I recorded them all with Q&As, and they're really great. And of course, I have the Fast Track Guide. Also have 3 hours over the shoulder training videos where I show you exactly how I craft sales letters and stuff to make money. It's really cool. Swipe files from all the big gurus like Tom and Jeff Herring and myself and a couple other big people, Alex Mandosian, all this cool stuff. And hang in there for the Q&A. We're getting right to it. So that's 24 hours of webinar recordings, 3 hours of training videos, the Fast Track Guide and Swipe files. It's $730 value. I'm not doing a high pressure pitch tonight. If you guys want this or don't want it, it's fine with me. I've only got a few weeks left, so if you want a chance to work with me, you can. It's just $97 with 3 payments of $37 over at Expert Web Writing. And here's some praise from Richard and Son that they love working me. And Richard said if he charged twice the price for the program, I'd buy. And that's okay, Richard. I did charge your credit card twice to make you happy. And Sonia says, you're the best. Can't wait to work together. Sweet Sonia, pieceofthedreamer.com. And here's the bonus. I got a couple weeks left. You can buy the Stealth Persuasion anytime, but I'm offering the one-on-one content critique, editing of your websites, your sales letters, your opt-ins, all your content, even a website critique, all shot in screen capture video and personalized just for you. I'll be your personal editor for free. If you want to purchase tonight, that's $197. I say the first 20 people only because these things take a couple hours for each person, and I'm starting to run out of time. I'm packing my stuff. So if you want to work with me, I'd love to get you all this stuff tonight, all the value, all the training videos, the swipe files, Fast Track Guide, and the one-on-one editing consulting time with me. It's $1,000 worth of training. It's just $97 with 3 payments at $37 over at expertwebwriting.com. So this is one last chance to get out because I'm not sure when I'll be back or what I'm going to be doing when I get back exactly, or whether I'm going to be selling this product anymore. I may be going into some other kind of consulting. I'm still here for you guys, though, and I'll still honor all consultations and everything that I always do. I always have unlimited email that I always answer. So I'm here for you guys no matter what. So let's go ahead and we're going to do a Q&A. Remember, go to expertwebwriting.com if you want to take advantage of this giant Stealth Persuasion copywriting system package and your personal consultation with me. I would love to help you guys out before I leave for my fantastic gem hunting adventure. And I told you it wouldn't be hard. So I'm trying to practice that North Carolina accent. I don't think I'm doing a very good job of that. But I told you Google author rank would not be that hard, guys. So it really is working. And I just want to thank you again for your time tonight because I know that you're serious about this. We had like a packed room in here. This is one of the biggest webinars I've ever done. That's probably why GoToWebinar was crashing out. Is anyone still awake out there? Oh, my question box is like freaking out. Oh, okay, great. Yeah, okay. I didn't know if it crashed out. I thought I was sitting here talking to myself this whole time. GoToWebinar been crazy. Yeah, you guys are great. And Guys, if you want to work with me, fine, and ask some questions about Google AuthorRank. I don't know everything about it, and I don't know the extent of it, but I do know, just from what little that what I've shown you tonight, just how powerful this is going to be for us. And just think about it, guys. We've been competing with these articles and stuff for so long, and competing with so many outsourcing people. I didn't know how to get my personal stuff up higher in the search results and have all my stuff linked, everything I've ever written, within one link, one click, access to everything I've ever written. Extremely important that is for us authors, for people like myself, and especially you guys who are these experts in these different fields of holistic medicine and life coaching and just all these articles, grief counseling. And I know my community here, are a fantastic just array, a kaleidoscope of fantastic traditions and just expertise. And there's a lot of competition out there, and it does not help our case or our cause, or it doesn't help us help other people when the search engine is just littered with crummy, spun, spammy articles. And content is king. Jeff teaches it, I teach it. We're both know how important content is. But if no one can find it, and it's not all together in an easy place to find it, like your own personal library, then who the hell can read it? How is it going to be king if no one can find it? This solution is bringing to the forefront a ton of advantages that I've just never seen this before. And it's just so cool, own personal search result. So I absolutely love this. This is the most exciting thing that I've run across basically in years. Okay, nothing really gets me all that excited about internet marketing most of the time. I like writing. You know, the techie stuff, I'm not really all into it. This is helping us. This is helping real people. And damn it, it's finally time Google really looked out for the real content and didn't reward the people who spin out 1 million articles a day that don't even make sense half the time. I've read some of these things, and I can't believe they're in the search results. And I'm like, why? You know, why is this happening? Google does need to pick up their game a little bit, in my opinion. I don't think even though it's the best search engine in the world, it can be better. Everybody knows that. This is one step to really making something extremely important. So I'm going to go through the Q&A. I want to, again, thank you for being here tonight. It means you're serious about this. And you can also competition. You see how many people aren't doing this yet and how this can work for you. I want to see your smiling faces in little search results as soon as possible. I'm going to go look at these questions real quick. Karen says, what if you share the blog with their authors? It doesn't matter. You can, well, if someone if someone writes something for your blog, you go into the admin of WordPress and you change the names. I know that's a little confusing, but every WordPress blog, there's a place to put your name as the author of a blog, and that each person can have a different name associated with their blog post. So it'll say Leadership Skills by John Smith on your WordPress, and then the next post might say Weight Loss Skills by Julie Smith. And you can make different names appear inside WordPress. Those names are the validation in WordPress. So if you go in and make the name Colin Martin and Joe Smith and stuff like that, Google will separate all those posts and assign them to content. So basically, the people guest posting on you can stick their little snippet, their little piece of code in the blog post, their blog post on your blog that they guest wrote, and it will override and connect to the name that's assigned to that. I know it's a little confusing, and I'll try to find an article or something like that and send it out as a newsletter. I'll be sending newsletters out while I'm gone on my gem hunting adventure. I've scheduled out a lot of free training, secrets of the gurus, the crap nobody tells you about unless you pay a lot of money. I'm gonna go ahead, now that I'm not working for anybody anymore, I'm gonna go ahead and spill the beans on a lot of cool stuff. So read my newsletters when they come out this summer while I'm gone, okay? Don't not open them. There's going to be surprises and good stuff in there. And but anyway, you can separate the authors in WordPress, and that's how it'll work. If you guest post on someone else's WordPress blog or any other site, include your author link, and it will connect that content to your search results. Let's take another look at some questions. Elena says, I put in my dashboard, but none of my articles are showing up in Google with my photo. How come? Well, you got it. Everything's got an index. I don't know if you just mean you're doing it tonight, Elena, but that's going to take. It takes a little while. It took me a week to get 2 pages up, but it definitely keep working at it. Also, Elena, go to your Google Plus profile and link out to some of the articles on your site. Go ahead and link out to your blog post. Try to get that rolling a little bit. I noticed that when I did that, and I followed somebody's instructions, and I can't remember, it was some geeky dude, and I followed the instructions, and it helped accelerate this process. That's why I was able to get 2 pages up in less than a week. So Carol says, can you clarify the best way to tell someone to add this onto their when I am doing a guest post for them? Basically, you just want to include it in the email and say, please put this little snippet of code in the HTML. It's the same thing that they would do if they were going to link to your website. Every time you write a guest post for somebody, they go, give me a link to your website, and I'll put it in the blog post so that people can, find you. Kind of like a payment for, writing the article. Put this code in there in the HTML of the blog post, and it won't be visible on the blog post. Only the robot or the Google can see it. So you'll want to include that and just tell them to stick it in the HTML of the post. And that's all you have to do. And they'll understand that. Anyone who posts on WordPress, either they do it themselves or they have somebody that's working for them, they understand what the HTML of the post is. On WordPress, you either got text or HTML. And you can put stuff in either box before you publish it. And that's how you do it. Lynette says, do you think Google may eventually be able to weed out the spun books on Amazon as well? Oh, wow. Yeah, that's kind of Amazon's problem. What that it's going to end up being like Easing articles, where the Amazon might get punished for just publishing a bunch of crap. Although I don't know, those two are big rivals too. I really think that you may be able to put this author rank inside ebooks and this code inside anything else, because Google does index the inside of the books that are on Amazon in the sneak peeks. So there's all sorts of stuff that can go on. Spun books, nobody buys that stuff anyway, so I wouldn't sweat that too much. If you have competition from people spinning Amazon books, leave bad reviews. That's one way to help. Okay, Elena says, a blog post shows up but doesn't link me to Google Plus or have my pick or anything. I had a Google Plus account before. I didn't just start it tonight. Okay, well, the indexing of the pages takes a while. It's not whether you have Google Plus tonight. Elena, why don't you call me tomorrow over at the school? And I know that you're one of Tom's mentees, and I'll try to explain this a little bit more to you. So if you need a little bit of help, just give me a call. Remember, if you use the Google link and you put it in that plugin, Google's going to have to go in and re-index your pages. Periodically, about every 3 or 4 days, the robots come and visit each of your web pages on your website. If you didn't know that, then that's just letting you know it now. That's how they re-index changes that you make on your web pages. And this is one of the changes that you'd be making. And when Google comes back and goes through your website and sees that link, it's going to start making those connections. And it doesn't happen immediately, but it happens pretty quick, because you can see I did mine in just less than a week. So you want to check that out. Alana says also, what about the boxes in the lower part of the plugin? Does anything need to be checked there? I don't think you mentioned that part. As far as I know, the only place that I put it was in what's called the global header code, and it's the very top box of the plugin. And let me go back real quick, Alana, real quick, and I just want to see if I can go in. Let's see. Let me go in real quick to my blog and just take a look at the plugin again real quick. See if I can find it. Upload PHP. How to market. Oh, this sounds good. Just go here. We're going to go into my dashboard. And I'll show you the plugin. It's under, after you have it installed, it's under Settings. And then Enhanced Header Footer Injections. And there it is. I put in the global header code. And then I also put it in this main blog page header code, but I'm not sure if I was really I had to do that or not, because I didn't really fully understand. But I put it in there just for the heck of it. But I think that's overriding this, so I think just putting it here was probably best. Put it in both places if you want. Then I pushed, then I checked post, so it shows up on every post. And I checked page for every page, and I click Save Changes. And I'll show you, let's go to a page real quick, and I'll show you what it looks like on each page. You can customize it, but you don't have to. But I wanted to show you that it's at the bottom of every page. So we go into pages here, just like you're editing a page in Word, and the plugin creates a little box at the bottom, and see that it's right here. This is brand new box. It just appeared because I opened the plugin. It's never been here before, and the default is use global header, and then you see my code, and then footer. You can put footer codes. I don't know even what a footer is, so don't use that. So by default, each page has checked use global header, and it's got my code. So it's working just fine. That's all you have to do. Those two places, check off page or post, and that's it. Go to Expert Web Writing if you want to take advantage of that tonight. Let's go back and look at some more questions here. Let's see. Karen says, thanks. Good. Elena says, thank you. Good. Got you understand that. Give me a call this week, Elena, if you have to, and to clear this up. Karen says, can you put multiple codes in the plugin? Yes, but you don't want to put multiple author codes, obviously. You just want to put yours. And you would, if you wanted a guest writer to separate theirs from your post, they would have their own name on their post, like we discussed a minute ago, and their own link in the HTML of the post. That will override your global header code. But you can put other stuff in there. I'm not sure what other stuff goes in a header code. I know meta tags do. I'm not a web designer, so I have no clue what goes in a header code. All I know is somebody that I trust told me this is how you do it, and I did it, and it's working. So Elena says, so is there a space between the quotation and the word link? Yes, there is. Let me go back and show you that real quick, Elena, in case you didn't. Back. Where am I? There it is. Yes, there is a space between the quotation and the word link. Okay? And you can't see it, but there's a space right there. It doesn't jam up together. So in case that was what you were talking about, it will work. And let's see. Barbara says, does it put it on past posts? Yes. Here's what's going on with that, Barbara. Once you put in the global header code, then as Google links to old posts or reindexes old posts, those will start to pull together into your accumulative content. That's going to take longer because it's older, and they go after new stuff first. And a lot of older posts take a longer to reindex. How do we accelerate that? Link to the old posts from your Google Plus profile, and it'll kick right in. So that's your ticket to reindexing or getting this affected on your old posts quicker by linking them from your Google Plus over to your old posts. Now, someone asked me, do I have to be very popular and active on Google Plus to be rewarded with author content or this author rank? No, you really don't. Now, if Google was going to use this for a business, I guess they would want you to be on Google Plus more than Facebook and posting and stuff and making all sorts of friends and Google Plus oneing everything you can. You might want to go in and do a little bit of that and get a little bit more active on your Google Plus than you probably are right now. It can't hurt anything, but the content is going to be linked from the code that we gave you and your Google Plus profile. How popular you are probably won't make that huge a difference. Maybe later in the year when this kicks in officially or something, it may tweak things like that, and that people that have more people in their circles may get a higher search engine rank, just so Google can reward people who are on Google+. I don't really know about that, but right now, all you have to have is the profile. You don't have to be super active or super popular on Google+ for this to work for you. Elena says, where do you go to check and see if it was in there in your website? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Karen says, got it, thanks a bunch. Elena says, where do you go in the back end to check and see if it was there? Well, if you put the global header code in there, it's going to be on everything, even all your old posts. So if you go into your old posts on WordPress, go back as far as you can and scroll down in edit mode and see that global header code plugin is checked off, and make sure it is, then it'll re-index eventually and it will all accumulate together. So remember, this is whenever you have anything to do with Google search results and web pages of any sort, or any new things that are going to pop up in a search result, it has to be re-indexed, and it takes time. Changes don't automatically take place and that you see it like tonight or an hour later. You ever updated a page or a post on an HTML site or even WordPress or anything, and you still did a search result maybe 4 or 5 days later, and it wasn't updated yet? It still showed kind of the old content snippet, That's because it just takes time to re-index. Typically, I find re-indexing a page, a spider coming through Google and looking over one of your old pages and updating the information for a search result, takes about 7 to 10 days. So I'm having faster luck with mine because I've done it for just about a week. I had these pages come up, and now the search result is showing the way I want it to. Not as much old content, but all my newest content is linked together already, 2 pages worth. And those are stuff that I link Google+ over to the web post or web page. So get on Google+ and start posting your web pages over there. So it's going to drive traffic, for one thing, and secondly, it's going to kick in and re-index these things faster. In the old days, we used to call it blog and ping. And what that meant is if you wanted a web page of your site to index faster in Google, you would blog about it and link to it. And the robot would come, or the spider bot would come in through the link and over to the old page and re-index it faster because there was a direct link to it instead of digging through 1,000 posts. So if that makes any sense, you want to go in and try to link to your old posts or whatever posts you can from Google+. Once you get this thing installed, and start kicking this thing into action. Elena says, this is on a page I have with an article, and the plugin is there, but the off is clicked. What should be clicked? Oh, put on. Enable it if you see the article and scroll down. It should be universally enabled. One of mine was off, and I didn't know why. Elena, you're going to have to call me tomorrow so we can go through the screen capture. So I'll help you with this if you want. Is there any more questions about what Google+ is or anything like that you guys want to ask, or did I get to any of all the questions? Julia said, I have 2 guys who have an old-fast WordPress solution to post 4 or 5 pages, 4-page sites in 20 minutes, including 30 plugins and footers and disclaimers. Oh, okay, that's interesting. One book on 101 foods from A to Z will likely cause cravings. It's free on Kindle. Oh, she's doing a little advertising on my webinar. It's a good thing you're gone, Julia. I'm just kidding. I love you. And yeah, people congratulating me on a lot of that. Somebody said she did a similar trip in 1993. Roberta says she 70 pounds 12 naturally. Wow. Are you selling your content? Does this integration compete with your sales? If you're selling your content, oh, no, not at all. There's, Jeannie, if you are selling your content, well, I mean, no one should be able to find the content in the search result if you're selling it. If you're selling a PDF, for instance, you should have what we're called no follow tags and no index tags. If you don't want any content to be lumped together in your author rank results, then you can click what's called a no follow or no index. That's a plugin on WordPress as well. And all you do is click off no index, means that it'll never show up in a search result, even with all the author rank connected. So if you're selling content on a membership site or anything, which can't be indexed by Google anyway, if it's a password protected, or if it's a private page on WordPress, or if you've put a no follow code on any of your content, it's not going to show up. So you don't without losing money. That's a good question, though, Jenny. I'm glad you did that. So go ahead and ask me any more questions. I've got a bunch of people still on the line. Will there be a replay since he missed the first hour, Erica? Yes, there will. I'm going to send out the replay in the morning. So Lynette says, have a good trip. May turn out to be more rewarding than you anticipate. I don't know. It's going